blind from birth. I was born in Essex and then I moved to Kent. I started off in a sunshine home down in St Mary's Bay. I went to my next place in Reigate, which I was there from 68 to 69, and while I was there I was learning telephony, typing, light assembly, and also during the time I was in Reigate I went to a Payne's Poppets in Croydon where I had to make the boxes to put the chocolates in, and then a fortnight later I went to my next place, British Pharmaceuticals in Epsom, and that was dealing with different medications, and I enjoyed that most of all because the atmosphere was better and I made some friends there. And then I went to Leatherhead, and which was a home for the blind. I was brought up to go to Sunday school, and I went to church. When I went to Reigate, I sort of lost my faith because we had certain rules and we weren't, you know, we weren't encouraged to go to church, or if we were, we were forced. I suppose really my faith returned when I came to Hawley, when I attended the church in Hawley. I attended a lunch club which was held once a month, and that was about 12 years ago next week actually. Well, I'm quite independent. I mean, I always used to do my own shopping, but obviously I'm not able to at the moment, so I'm having to depend on somebody to do it for me. It's not quite the same, and I've turned to God more since COVID because I feel, or I felt, that I needed his guidance and strength and encouragement. And of course we've had to do a lot of things regards church. We've had to rely on Zoom, and you know, which is a completely new thing to me. I mean, I've never heard of Zoom until now. The only thing I'm not able to do is see people.
That's a given.
I must admit, I'm not a fan of Zoom, but if it's the only way to be in touch, well then, of course, you have to accept the situation, you know. Well, just before COVID, I invested in a new computer, and Steve Martin and somebody from Sight for Surrey, which is an organisation for blind and partially sighted people, and they set it all up for me, which is a good thing. God has really been an asset to me, really, because I've sat and prayed every single day, and I always pray when I've read it, asking God to help me to understand what I've read and how I know and how to go on during my day. So if it wasn't for my faith, I don't think I'd be in a very good position now. Well, firstly, I would encourage them to find somebody who would be able to encourage them to have a faith, because once they have a faith, then they've got God to turn to. I have taught 2 friends who are in the same position as me, and I taught them how to use their mobile phone. And the way I did it was, they phoned, or I phoned them on their landline, and I could hear what they were doing as I was instructing them. One of them can actually, she can actually text and make calls, and the other friend, they only want to use the make calls on it. So my second friend wasn't so advanced. I don't think they felt confident enough to go any further than making calls. Just before COVID, I put the question, is it possible that I could support somebody or people who are lonely and need to talk? I ended up supporting 15 people. I felt that I was helping somebody worse off than myself, but there was one particular person who I still support to this day, and we always have a conversation and we always end up having a prayer together.